There is so much to experiment with musically. We can reach for different chords, rhythms, sounds, tunings, but rarely do we reach for different amounts of beats in a bar. The majority of music has 4 quarter notes in every bar. This is what this fraction-looking element tells us. The top number indicates that we have a quantity of 4 beats, and the bottom number indicates that those beats are quarter notes. This is 4/4, where most music lives. And there's nothing wrong with this. Sometimes an element is commonplace because it works so well, and 4/4 time works great. It feels great. But if you have already reached for novelty everywhere else and are still craving a new flavor, then changing this foundational element of music might be what you are looking for. Today, we are going to change this to 7/4, and we're going to make a drum and bass ballad. Now, before we go any further, it can be easy to think of 7/4 as 2 bars of 4/4 with a quarter note missing. But actually, the building blocks of musical time are groups of 2s and 3s. So actually, we will be thinking of 7/4 as 2 groups of 2 and a group of 3. This allows it to structurally stand on its own rather than as an incomplete version of our more standard time signatures. Let's start with a drum groove so that we have a clear 7/4 framework we can lock into. We're going to use Groove Agent and we'll load up Studio Kit SE. Let's begin our pattern with the kick. 7/4 is an odd time signature, and when we venture into the world of odd time signatures, the first thing we lose is the instinctual pulse of the even 4/4 world. So, more than ever, when in the odd time signature realm, we will want to clearly mark our origin point. So let's put a kick on beat 1. And remember how we mentioned that groups of 2s and 3s are the building blocks of rhythms? Well, let's create our core framework to that end. We will think of our bar of 7/4 as 2 groups of 2, followed by a group of 3. You can also further simplify this and think of it as a group of 4, followed by a group of 3. This means that the kick we just put down is the origin point of our group of 4. And then on beat 5, we will put another kick, which marks the group of 3. This is super sparse. It is the most minimal scaffolding of our 7/4 bar. Next, we're going to make the group of 3 feel like less of a rhythmic liminal space by splitting it in half so that it becomes 2 equal areas, each lasting for a duration of 3 eighth notes. Now, the momentum of the rhythm, although still odd, is easier to feel. And one more thing before we fill out the rest of the drum pattern. This is drum and bass, so we'll want some syncopation, some emphasis of the in-between rhythms or offbeats. So let's shift our beat 5 kick so that it is an eighth note earlier, played on the and of beat 4. This will be our rhythmic framework, and now that we have it, we can relax a bit and trust that this kick will anchor us as we explore 7/4. Since we are aiming towards a drum and bass kind of texture, let's add a ride cymbal. We'll start with a ride cymbal right on beat 1, along with the kick, and then proceed with a steady stream of eighth notes. When we get to the eighth note before beat 5, we'll allow for some space because this is where our next kick lives. By giving some space here, it allows this to feel like a new origin point, the beginning of our next group, our group of 3, the back half of our bar of 7/4. Then, on the eighth note after beat 5, we will continue with our steady stream of eighth notes. This one omission of a ride hit on beat 5 gives the pattern that subtle separation that differentiates the group of 4 from the group of 3, and gives our ear a subconscious rhythmic call and response to hang on to. Right now, the ride cymbal is lacking detail. Let's add some lower velocity ride cymbals in between the eighth notes on the offbeat 16th notes to give it a little more life. Okay, Now our kick is our main rhythmic anchor, and our ride cymbal is adding a lot of activity, but the ride needs a conversation partner, the snare. To give the snare a bit of the kind of sound that a sampled and sped up record has, we will increase the pitch or tuning of the sound. To give the pattern an implication of 4/4, we are going to add a full volume snare hit on the backbeat, on beats 2 and 4, and also on beat 2 of the group of 3, which is actually beat 6. If we were to continue the backbeat pattern, the next one would fall on beat 1, which is where the odd time signature aspect comes into the equation. How do we handle this, in a sense, extra beat, beat 7? Let's put another snare on the and of beat 7 to soften the gap. Now there is a little bit more momentum that turns beat 7 back to the beginning. But we want the snare to be in conversation with the ride, so let's add 16th note ghost notes throughout the pattern. Just 3 drum elements can go a long way. Now that we have our drum pattern, let's put our chords together. Since we already have a lot of rhythmic interest by way of the 7/4 time signature, I'm going to keep the chords as long pads that start on beat 1. This will match the drum and bass texture and also bring the ballad feeling. Let's explore some harmonic options. I am going to use this pad from Halion Sonic, the Ah Choir and pad. It's super ethereal and has an early 2000s kind of throwback vibe. Reminds me of racing video games or something along those lines. Okay, I like this idea here. We will start with a G minor 11 chord. Then go to a B flat sus 13 chord. And then next, we'll resolve to an E flat major 13 chord. And then go to a D flat major 7 chord. Then this same sequence repeats, but transposed up a perfect fifth. So we'll start with a C sus 13 chord. And then we'll go up to an E flat sus 13 chord. And then we'll resolve to an A flat major 7 add 6. And then G flat major 7 add 6. And then the progression will turn around with the D7 altered chord, which takes us back to where we started, G minor 11. Let's go with holding each chord for 2 bars. I'm liking the floating quality of these chords, but right now they don't have their roots. This is what our bass is going to hold down. We will use Sonic, the low glow preset. This is a bass sound with enough sub to satisfy the low end, but enough pitch clarity to allow us to outline these chord changes without getting too muddy. For the rhythm of the bass line, we are going to loosely synchronize with the kick pattern. And as for the pitches, we are going to hold down the root of each chord in multiple octaves, connecting them with the fifth. And now for the last part of our ensemble. We need a melody. As I mentioned before, I'm liking the bit of a nod to the Y2K aesthetic. So let's use a muted trumpet sound that has an artificial kind of quality to it. We'll use the soulful muted trumpet sound from Sonic. I like how it brings a video game kind of vibe. By just changing the amount of beats we have in our bar, we instantly threw our habits into question. Even if you do this just to shake up your creative process as an exercise, it will likely make it so that when you go back to 4/4 time, you will have a renewed feeling about something that you may have been taking as a given, that every bar always has 4 beats. There are no limits to where you can take this. Open up Cubase and change your time signature to something different. Make it absurd. Get wild and see what happens.